Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Astrology News Report, an alternate view of world events as seen through the lens of Vedic astrology, presented by yours truly, Ron Berger. Today is September 23rd, 2018. In this segment, we'll take a look at the week that was and see how the planets' patterns in the zodiac matched up with the past week's events. Last week, and continuing this week, the main item for the media narrative has been the circus around Trump's and the Republicans' SCOTUS nominee, Brett Kavanaugh, darling of the conservatives, who originally was supposed to be a slam dunk for confirmation, and who, unexpectedly, last week ran into a ghost from his past, which has now put his confirmation in jeopardy. The Republicans' choice for a lifetime appointment to the highest court in the land turns out to be a man who now has hanging over him a credible accusation of being yet another Trump-affiliated sex creep. So what happened? This whole thing got started when California Senator Dianne Feinstein announced that she had a letter with some disturbing information on Mr. Kavanaugh, and that she had given that letter to the FBI. That information became known on September 13th. Note that on that day, Mercury was being exactly opposed by Neptune, while Venus was in near exact opposition with Uranus. Mercury is the planet of information. Neptune is the planet of confusion and suspicion. The interaction between those two can manifest as suspicious information. Meanwhile, Venus, as the planet of pleasure, young females, and, yes, sex, is in Libra, sign of equality and fairness, and being opposed by Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, the unusual, as well as revelation and realization. So, the whole affair has now become the latest poster for the Me Too movement, exposing yet another highly placed male to an investigation of his secret sexual escapades. Wanting to get this over ASAP and move on to a full Senate vote, Senator Grassley, the Republican chairman of the Judiciary Committee, decried Monday, September 24th as the date for Ms. Ford to appear and testify. Subsequent threats and counter-threats have now moved this out to Thursday. Mars is the planet of force, haste, and impatience. Note that Mars is in exact conjunction with Ketu this week, the eclipse point that signifies the unseen dimension, dissolution, and chaos. This astrology pattern creates a high potential for hasty actions, leading to unintended consequences for everyone. Every competent GOP strategist knows the optics of a band of all-white older males interrogating Kavanaugh's accuser as if they were commanders from The Handmaid's Tale can only create an electoral disaster for the GOP in November. So, of course, they don't want her to testify, but now things have gotten too far down that road. So, get your popcorn ready. This should be interesting. The events of the past couple of weeks have been pointing more and more in the direction of things going downhill for Trump and the Republicans. Poll numbers for Trump, as well as for Republicans in general, have been tanking. The prospect of a blue wave changing, at the least, the House of Representatives to a Democrat majority has made it possible for formerly outrageous terms like impeach and Article 25 to become part of the current narrative. Even Mr. Trump himself has taken to using the I word in his rallies, as in, "I can't be impeached. You can't impeach a president who's been doing a great job. So, people have been asking me, as an astrologer, what am I predicting for Mr. Trump's future? So I will now outline publicly what I have been saying privately. Mr. Trump's natal astrology chart indicates something rather worrisome is coming for him in 2019. According to the planetary period system of Vedic astrology, in January, Trump's Saturn sub-period begins. Besides being the planet of harsh realities, Saturn, for Trump's Leo rising chart, represents his 6th house of struggle and difficulty, and is in a very problematic placement in his 12th house of endings and loss, where it is extremely weak at 0 degrees of the sign that it is in. So, this does not look good for the Donald. Another clue is that the 6th house is also the house of health and disease, and the 12th house is the house of the subconscious. Further, the 12th house is the house of confinement, including such places as prisons and hospitals. Already, Mr. Trump has been exhibiting symptoms of brain dysfunction. My prediction is that with all the pressures on him, he will crack and will have to be institutionalized due to his becoming mentally dysfunctional. So, either he resigns, or that 25th Amendment thing will become a reality. Okay, that's all the time I have for this week. By the way, have you noticed there are no ads on this YouTube channel? That's because some viewers have responded to my request for donations. A big thank you to those who are helping to keep the Astrology News Report going and ad-free. You too can become a supporter. Just click on or touch the donation card you see here, which will take you to the donation page. Thanks, and until next week.